Hello, here we go. Oh, I'm so excited for this. I always ask for my guests to present themselves. So please, my dear, I give you all the space because I think today we are going to talk about something that is really beautiful. Not in the other codes, I'm not giving beautiful transformation, but very singular. You say that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so please tell us who you are, where you come from, and what is the gift that you have to share with the world.
Thanks, Rita. So my name is Rachael Augusta, and I work with animals all over the world who are really sick with cancer, old age issues, trauma from past abuse, injuries, and I've been doing this for about a decade. And I got into it when my beloved soul companion, a kitty of mine, Holly, when she got really sick. And I realized in that moment that Western medicine wasn't going to help her. And if that wasn't going to help her, no one was going to help her. And so if no one was going to help her, I had to be the person to help her if I wanted to try and save her life. And so the universe threw me into action, pulled me out of my sleeping, bear hibernation, a slumber that we are all often in, and forced me into the world of working with animals, which was never in my plans. People always are like, did you, as a child know you wanted to work with animals? Nope. Had no clue. It wasn't until I became desperate that everything clicked and switched on for me. So this is what I've been doing for about a decade now.
It feels like you are in a mission. Like when someone have their life mission clear, their why. Mm-hmm. And I was going to ask you, what is your why? I always love to ask. Let me ask you why you told it was for your beloved animal, your soul mate, if you can call it like. Yeah. But after that, you continue. So what was the why?
Yeah.
Found out what is the special, because when I look to you, when I listen to your story, I feel that you are a superhero. How I see it, because we are so concerned with ourselves, and the animals give us so much stability. They clean our energy. At least this is how I see it.
Yeah.
So what was your why? What was the transformation after working with your animal, with your soulmate?
Yeah. Well, with Holly, who started me in this journey, she saved my life. And when she was sick, I was like, now is my opportunity to return that favor and save her life. And what happened, and I wasn't ready to say goodbye to her. She was given 2 weeks to live. And with everything that I did, she was given an additional 3 years, and not just, surviving, but thriving, happy, moving. She felt really good up until right before she was ready to let go. And then it was really her time to let go. And we both knew it. And so what happened is that I'm an animal rights activist, and I'm connected with a ton of people who know a lot of animals, who love animals, and they all saw what happened with Holly. And they were like, whoa, wait a second. Can I bring you a bunny to work with? Can I bring you my cat? Can I bring you a pig? We rescued these dogs from horrible, horrible circumstances. Can we bring them to you to have you help them, make it back into the world, from abuse and horrible testing. And so, I was like, yes, bring me your animals, bring me your animals. And it turned into like a line out the door of me working with animals. And then I hit this moment of like, I think I need to start charging, otherwise I'm going to be homeless. So like, this is become my full-time job. I was actually in the process of starting a manufacturing company for women's clothing. And I was like, all I'm doing is working with animals. And it became very clear that that's what I was supposed to do. And so I let the manufacturing company, that was constant hurdles, slamming my body into walls. Nothing was working. Everything was hard. And then the minute I started working with animals, like the gates opened, everything opened, the whole realm was like, oh, good. You finally arrived. We've been waiting for you. We're going to make this as easy as possible. And they have. And And so, I hear people trying to start businesses all the time and the struggle. And truthfully, I've never had that because I've had my own struggles. My struggle is that I love animals so much. I just want to help them as much as I possibly can, to the point that I have treated myself like an emergency room where I don't get sleep. I don't take time off, but I've worked through that, and so my struggle has more been like, how can I help everybody all at once? Which is actually why I ended up starting the app.
And
The EmPAWer app.
We go there in a second because I have many questions. Let me just go back in 1 second because you said something that made me tear up. And that is you told then she saved your life.
Yeah.
And I have friends who are in depression, and his cat, then he's here at home with me now, save his life, meaning like find a little cat and protect him and save his life for depression. And not so long ago, like 4 or 5 days ago, I was on the street and I found a baby cat with no mom, and I'm like babysitting the cat, and I'm realizing how's this helping me to cope with my pain. And it made me tear up straight away because I work with animals before. I used to find what was the best breed of dog for a specific type of life. And that was like 20 years ago, exactly 20 years ago. I was like a teenager mom. And today I will never do that because I want people to adopt. I don't want people to buy dogs.
Yeah.
What I found beautiful is you said the same. How many times animals save and impact our life? Like my DJ name is Hockey, not because of Rocky Balboa, it's because my best friend growing up was Hockey. And that was everyone saying, oh, you like hockey? Yes. And I do, but it's because my best friend growing up, I grew up in Africa with no brothers or sisters, and my dog name was Hockey, and that is the reason. So sorry to put myself on this.
No, I'm glad you did.
Show to you how deep, how deep the animals impact our life and bringing joy and make us feel balanced. And I have the feeling that the Alpha, that is the cat of my boyfriend, she cleaned my energy. I feel then she's around me when I need. When I cry, she goes to me. And I never did think about that. I did think about dogs, but I never did think about cats in that way. So I took
cats. Yeah. Cats. So their purr is the same vibration as an ohm tuner. So when they purr, it actually does clear your energy centers. And a lot of people, think, oh, dogs, dogs are man's best friend. Dogs will do anything for you. And there's been a lot of hatred towards cats, or just not thinking that cats are able, but that is absolutely not true. They've done a ton of studies recently that cats have that same ability to bond with you. They bond pretty heavily with us, and they're there with us. My kitty, I can always tell when somebody's coming over to the house who's sad, because she starts waiting for them before she starts waiting at the door. And so I'm like, oh, so-and-so is going to be really sad because she's waiting. And then they come in and they're, going through something horrible, and she gets up on them and lays on them. And they're like, oh my God, I really needed this. And I'm like, yeah, well, she knew you were going to be sad. And I knew you were going to be sad because she was waiting. So yeah, cats are very in tune.
I love it. And I always did want to have a cat. In my previous life, nobody in my family did want a cat. Everyone was dog lovers. Nobody did cats. But and it's so funny how I manifest a cat from my boyfriend who stay with me. Like it's like a full circle. Yeah. But okay, when you say you heal them, what are we talking about? Like, what are your tools, or how can you explain to me, as I have so many questions. I don't know.
Yeah. So when my soul companion got sick, I honestly didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where to start. I was one of those energy skeptics that was like, that's bullshit. Like, I just didn't believe in any of that. Hardcore atheist. But when you are desperate, you will start looking at different avenues. So I ended up training at a college that was teaching energy, but I was able to justify it in my mind because it was worked in conjunction with veterinary, and also humans were being trained in hospitals to do the same work with humans who'd been through surgery. So in my mind, I was like, this seems a little woo woo, but they are doing this in hospitals and in veterinary
So you are
clinics.
totally against energy.
Yeah, totally against it.
Oh,
I mean, like if you would have talked to me 11 years ago, I'd have been like, that's bullshit. And so that's why when people come to me and they're like, I don't believe in what you do, I'm like, I know. I didn't either, but here I am. But here I am doing it. So I got professional training with healing touch for humans and healing touch for animals. And that's where it started. That was just where me getting like the basis of it, understanding it, but it's grown. I've since worked with cancer researchers. And since I've been doing this work, speaking with my own ancestors, who my great grandma was a healer in Germany who brought people under the moon and healed them under the moon. But I knew this when I was little, but I was just like, it's bullshit, and like, I just didn't believe in any of it. And then once I started doing this work, then I started getting the activations from my grandma, having my great grandma like coming in, telling me her work, what she did. And so I've been working with my ancestors. I work with trees. Trees give me a ton of information now. And and honestly, if people would have said this to me, like I said, 10 years ago, I would have been like,
I had trees every morning, and I did a post about that. So it was like the day before we met.
Yeah.
Such a powerful.
Yeah. I've had trees come in and tell me exactly what I need to do with animals that have cancer, and it's cured them. I mean, I have to be careful about that word. Okay. It's healed them. It's put them into remission. But what I basically do is I consider myself a body communicator. Okay. And so I go into my body, talking to the animal with their body, and be like, show me where it hurts. Show me what's going on. And I can go in and I basically do surgery and clean stuff up. So a lot of times, let's say, for example, the animal has a diagnosis. We know that they have something in their kidneys. We know it's their kidneys. I can go into their kidneys and I can do like energetic surgery there. But there are a lot of times where we can't get a diagnosis. We don't know what's going on. All we know is that, let's say the cat or dog can no longer walk. But nobody knows why. It's not arthritis. We don't know if it's cancer. We can't figure it out. The only way to figure it out would be to do really intense, like cutting them open and doing brain surgery. And people aren't going to do that. Doctors aren't going to do that. And so what I do then is talk to the animal with their, like, show me in your body, like what's going on. And they'll often show me like, this hurts up in my brain right here above my left eye. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Then we probably have a tumor up there. And then I will go up there and start doing that sort of work, or we'll just start addressing the situation. Like, they probably have a brain tumor. What can we do for a brain tumor? Whether it's, what I do, but then also integrative, like, what would your vet recommend for a brain tumor? What can we start using CBDs? What other things can we do to make this animal feel really calm and relaxed? And so it's a combination of the two, but it's mostly body communicating and then energetic surgery.
Wow. Yeah. I have a question. Do work works at distance?
Yeah. Yep. All of my work is at distance now.
I was going to ask you that, because that is something then many people, but if you don't believe in energy, for sure you don't believe it works at distance, right?
Absolutely not. And what I say to people who don't believe in distance work, which I get it, like, it's hard concept to wrap your head around, myself included. Sometimes I'm like, is this really working? I mean, this seems crazy, but it does work. And I've seen it work time and time again. And for people who are like, I don't believe that you can do that. Mm-hmm. My question for them is always, well, when you turn your television on with a remote control, how do you do that?
That is a good one.
Yeah.
I normally say, like, I was learning about tapping,
Mhm.
And my definition of tapping is like point one looks the most ridiculous, AFT looks the most ridiculous thing ever. But point two, I don't know, like electricity. I know it works. I don't know how, but I don't need to know how to know it works, right?
Well, just you and I talking here right now. I mean, I'm amazed. How are we doing this? I don't know. Where are you? I have no fucking idea. I mean, you don't even know where I'm at. And
No,
we're sitting here connecting.
So where are you?
Right. I'm in Minnesota right now.
Okay, so can I make you a little bit jealous?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if I can do this.
Yeah, make me super jealous. Oh my God. Where are you?
Mexico.
No, that's where I need to be.
Oh, okay. So this is a 21st floor apartment. One city named Merida is in Yucatan. So it's like 3 hours from Cancun. The most safe city on Mexico, the most safe, one of the top 3 of cities on the world. You have no issues here.
I'm coming.
My beautiful apartment have all amenities from gym to laundry to you name it. You have a co-working space, blah, 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 blah. And it's less than $800 a month.
I'm coming. I'm getting on the next plane. Do they have another unit available?
No, sorry, I didn't need to share because about energy as well, and I'm putting myself on the conversation, but I realized I have been in a self-love journey. I have a very complicated, not complicated, they're very full of action story in my life. And I found out that the most important thing that I need for my comfort and for making money and for attracting people as you is I need to live in a place who fills my heart. And safe fills my heart and makes the energy flow. I'm very connected to that. And where I can walk every morning and hug some trees and listen my meditations and work for myself. And that affects my work. If I'm in a place with no natural light and etc., so it's the same story. Why one place I feel good and why the other one I don't?
Yeah. So I've been a full-time nomad for 2 years. I just happened to be in Minnesota, but for me, I commune in the desert often with the animals out there, the trees, but I'm all about a blue sky. Like if it's really dreary, I can feel it impacting my emotions. And then the moment the blue sky comes out, I'm like, whoa, life is good. Everything's great. And so
we have people here on the building, if we like, it's insane. But
yeah.
Okay, tell me about COVID, because I am, I think I always will be a DJ since 2008. I toured 52 countries. I had 2 booking years that fronted me in 2020. I had the documentary, I had loads of things going on. And
yep.
For me, I need to say it was the best thing that did happen because made me go and become the coach that I am today. I want to know your story.
Yeah. So COVID for me too. Well, I was already working from home. It wasn't that huge of a change for me. And honestly, it wasn't. Through most of it, it was not difficult for me, but I know that it's been very difficult for other people. And there have been times where I have missed that human connection. I am naturally an extrovert. I'm an introverted extrovert. So, I will have times where I can just hunker down and be alone. And I do a lot of self-care. So I can fall deeply, deeply, deeply into self-care. But then I want to go see people. And so I was able to navigate it, but I know a lot of people haven't been able to. And for those people who, you see the studies where it's like, cats are angry that people aren't going to work and, and like people's dogs are freaking out because you're there all the time. And it's not that cats are angry that people aren't going to work or that they've, there's a lot of studies saying like cats are upset that people are home. It's not that. What's upsetting is that the humans that are home with them are distraught.
Yeah.
What's hard for the cats is that the humans are not doing well. And so, like you were talking earlier about your boyfriend's cat, really coming and being with you and comforting you a lot. Well, what we know, and this has been proven, the Department of Biology in Naples, Italy was able to prove that not only do animals smell our emotions with us, which we know that they do. Animals smell when you're angry. They can smell when you're scared. They can smell when you're happy. They can smell cancer. They can smell diabetes.
Smell
So they,
coffees.
yeah, they have all these abilities with their noses. So not only can they smell all of it, but they feel it with us.
They absorb
So
many times. Should we hide our feelings from our animals?
no, you can't. It's impossible. Like you can't. I mean, they can smell everything, so there's no hiding it. There's no secrets. So if you are really stressed and you're stressed all the time, and let's say with COVID, you've been stressed and depressed for 2 years, your animals are having those emotions with you. They're stressed and depressed with you. And what that does is it creates cortisol in their bodies, and cortisol leads to cancer. And so, my business, unfortunately, has been really busy during COVID because humans are stressed and their animals are stressed.
Do you want to talk about your app?
Yeah. So that's why I started the app in COVID, because I was like, there's not enough of me and I can't work 24 hours a day. I need self-care. I need to be like breathing and resting. And so I created the app. It's called EmPAWer. It's like EmPAWer, but with a paw. And what it does is it helps people who it helps people who want to be more engaged in their animals' health and healing and not so dependent on me. So there's a couple of options in the app. There's one where if you just want to sit and listen to the meditations and go through the classes.
I was going to ask you that. So I know you have meditations.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I found when we are doing meditation at home, then the cat, for me, Alpha feels a certain, when I'm having, it's so funny. Now I'm realizing I'm having a haha moment. When I'm in the flow of I'm building a totally different business. So I help coaches to grow, to impact more people's life telling their story. So my thing is to make you what I believe you are already, the number one person of your field, the go-to person, that is my passion. But I shift a lot because I used to work with artists as well, and I don't do it anymore. I'm just focusing helping women to really help even more people. And when I'm working on that, she has a tendency to be around my keyboard. And when the flow of the energy, and I'm in a very creative part of my life now, when I feel my vibration, and for example, this is going to sound so weird, I'm a very hot person. So my body is always very hot. And she loves to sleep on top of me. So it's so, and you can imagine in Mexico, I don't sleep with my air conditioner on. Yeah. So we have this vibration between us. But when she came now, she was a few days away. When she came now, I had the baby cat with me, and she was so mad with me. She said, "You
cheated on me."
Mad.
Yeah.
She's 1 year old now. So she looks like a dumb teenager.
Yeah.
Her body language, the way she looks to me, it's so surreal. So, but coming back to the app and to the meditation, sorry.
There's a class for that. So yeah, I have 3 different sections. There's a classroom that's like, what do you do for separation anxiety? What do you do if your animal's diagnosed with cancer? What do you do if you are integrating family, cats, and they're angry with each other and they feel jealous? What do you do if, you're grieving or your animal's going into hospice and you're not really sure? So there's a whole classroom to answer all those questions. Then there's an area where what I like to think of is when you're in a stressed out place, or when things are hard or bad, or maybe your animals are sick, it's like your ship went out to shore and you don't know how to bring it back in. Your ship went out and you need to bring it back into shore and you don't know how. Sometimes people are like, I'm too tired, I'm too scared, I'm too depressed. Can you pull me in with a raft? So there's an area like, you don't need to do the work. I'll do it for you. Just sit here and listen. I'm going to talk you through everything. I'm going to talk you and your animals through a healing. I'm going to talk you through a meditation, and I'm going to be the one pulling you back in. And then the third area of the app is called the Crowned Creatrix. And and that is for people.
Do you have free? You have many spells in Crowned? Okay.
Yeah. It's almost all free. There's a few things that people have to pay for, but mostly in the Crowned Creatrix. So the Crowned Creatrix is like the person who's like, my ship went out, throw me an oar. I want to be the one pulling myself back in. It's for the, for anyone who doesn't know what a creatrix is. A creatrix is the person who's like, I create my own world. It's the person who's like, I'm going to take my pain and I'm turning it into my fucking power. It's the person like me when my cat got really sick and my vet said she's old and she's going to die. And I was like, bullshit, she fucking is.
Oh, no way.
I'm going to save her life. And I did. Like the Crowned Creatrix is not for everybody, because sometimes we're just not in that place, but it is. And there's no shame in that. Sometimes you just need to take a break and sit out and let someone else help you. But if you're of the mind of like, I am here, I am ready to embrace this pain, I am going to turn it into my power, I am going to turn everything around. I want to know how to touch heels and I want to know how to touch trees and get activations for them. I want to know how to channel the sacred geometry. I want to know how to go into my animal's body and pull out the pain. I want to know how to go into my own body and do that.
Yeah.
That's the program for those people.
Yeah. Oh, you're giving me goosebumps, because creatrix is a word that can keep coming to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm exactly as you are describing. That is me 90% of the time. Sometimes, and this time was my time, I did need to, guys, I'm a warrior, but I need to chill.
Right. I need a break.
I need a break. I'm a mom of 6, and I took 1 year of motherhood to self-loving me, because I'm a mom since I'm 19. And it have been a journey, but it's people as you who make me understand that we connect for a reason, and I'm on my journey,
Totally.
And
totally.
you are giving the words and you are telling how you are, and we are having this vibration, and it's so powerful. It's so powerful that women are getting the grip of our power, and we are getting slowly still.
Yeah, totally. Totally. But it requires communion with each other. Community. Like it requires us being like, wait, how did you do that, Rita? Wait, Rachael, where are you? And how did you get there? And so you're a warrior who let yourself rest? Wow, that's fucking profound, because we're told our whole lives that we can't rest.
No.
And so what did your rest look like? How did that feel in your body? And, and having those moments where we can learn from each other, hold each other. And the Crowned Creatrix is also like, for the warrioress who's like, I know I'm a warrior, but I am tired and I need someone to help me. Okay, cool. I'll hold space for you while you're resting. What kind of magic do you need me to weave around you and your life and your animals? I will be there for you. And knowing that you can take a break and sleep, and some other badass has your back.
Oh my God, that is heaven. I grew up in Africa. I did not told you that, but I grew up in Africa in a cocoa farm, and a coconut and cocoa, and like imagine the little tiny island in the middle of the Atlantic.
Wow.
And my dad, then we are together doing a project for microgreens. I don't know if you saw it. My dad is going to coach people how to grow.
That's your dad?
Yeah, that's my dad. Yes.
I love that.
I basically kidnapped him. So when it was COVID, I started growing microgreens, and he felt inspired. We did not talk for 5 years. We started talking during COVID, and that is the story, but that is not for this show. I lost myself. Okay, I don't remember what I was saying, but basically,
it was about taking a break, and sometimes being like, how did you rest? Yeah.
Yes. How do you rest? How do you allow yourself? My father used to say to me, the most important thing in life is surviving. Yeah. And I became the best survivor than you can imagine. But that comes with a slightly issue. Is when you are so good in survival, when your life is like everything is beautiful and perfect, you are not adapting. So I found myself cyclically, like sabotaging myself again and again and again, because my adrenaline was for, oh shit, I have no money. Oh, I have no how to feed my kids. Oh, I have no how to do this or that. There she goes. There is the phoenix who comes out from the ashes. Guys, I am all that power, but I am done. I want to live. I want to create. I want to chill.
Right.
I want to enjoy. And
exactly.
And
exactly.
I said, wow, it's enough.
Exactly. And to that point, the Crowned Creatrix is also, you know, for people who are not desperate. Like
Oh,
like, you know, they're for the people who are like, I don't have any animals are sick, but here's the truth. We all get sick and die. So if you live with an animal and they're really healthy right now, why would you wait until they're sick and you're desperate like I was? Because when you are desperate and you are freaking out, that is not when you want to be looking for your toolbox. You
no.
know, like for anybody who's listening, who's a female or female representing or bleeds or doesn't even represent as female, but is a bleeder, you know that every month you are going to bleed with your moon cycle. Why would you wait until you have it, until it's happening? Like we prepare ahead of time. You go get your tampons, you go get your pads, you go get your moon cup, you get your panties, you get everything ready because you know it's going to happen. So like when people come at me, and I get it, that's how I was. I waited until I had to know. But I do not recommend that to people, you know, like learn it now so that when you are bleeding or when you're in this situation, you're like, I know what to do. I got all the tools. I got the community. I got the ability. I know how to do this. And so, and it's like that thriving versus surviving. You know how to survive, but why do you want to be constantly in a state of survival?
Why
You
you
want to be in a state of thriving.
that was literally, I arrived to a moment in my life 8 years ago where was not me creating the situations, but was me hanging out with people create the situations. And I was like the first warrior, you know, the general, the guy who writes, the guy or the woman who like the Amazoness, who like, here I go, solve the problems of someone else because I don't have enough problems.
Right. It's horrible.
It's insane. And I grew up with energy. I have a different shit than I was totally. I always felt energy around me. I felt and I had the ability in my hands. This seems very early. I did not know how to use it. My power always scared me when I was a kid. I remember I was playing with a friend who was annoying me, and I said, "I wish you fall now." And he fell out of nowhere, and I was no, I'm going to kill someone like this. So no hate in my heart. My heart have no hate.
Right.
I'm so scared.
I don't want to hex people. I want to heal people.
Totally. I found, I don't know if you ever spent time here in this part of Mexico, but if you did not, I feel that this is a message that you need to listen to, and then I need to deliver it to you. You need to come here because your energy, this place of the world, where many people say was the impact of what destroyed the dinosaurs, I don't know, it is bringing me this healing journey as well, where I'm more in connection with my own powers and my own journey and what I have to give to people. So,
I was in the Yucatan once, and it was so beautiful. And I love Mexico. I have friends who've been going down there, and I keep feeling this like pull. But then I'm also like, I don't know how to make that happen. You know, like I want to be down there, but it seems too scary for me to do it by myself. What's that?
You have me now, so.
But I have you. So come save me. Bring your Amazonian. I'll be out in the jungle somewhere. Help, Rita. I need you. I'm not surviving.
Oh my God. Let's go a little bit back before. I want to ask you something. So how your brain works on this? Like you did not believe in energy, then you start doing energy work, if I can call, use wrong words.
Sure. Yeah. All sorts of names.
And then you start doing at distance, but then now you have recording healings. Like that's the step after. She's not doing it this moment. How this can work.
Totally. No. And, people, so exactly. And that is, even my own clients are like, do I believe in this? I don't know. Are you taking us down a crazy road? Of course I am, but this is what I believe. I believe that our words are powerful. And I know in my heart that when somebody comes to me and says, my animal is dying and they're going to die, I know that their animal is going to die quickly. And when they say my animal is really sick, my dog's really sick, but I want to be on Oprah for the person who totally beat all odds. I'm like, their animal's going to survive. I always know that. And so that was kind of the first clue to like, oh, our words are powerful. And
so it's our responsibility as well. Is the meaning in a good way. I don't want to be offensive, but if the donor decide, yeah, you Henry Ford have a quote that I'm always saying, whatever you believe you can or you cannot, you are always right. Mm-hmm. And do you think people give up very easy?
Some people, not my clients, not mine. The people who find me are just like me, and they are ready. Like the people, every once in a great while, I'd say once every 500 clients, that person I'm like, we're not vibing, like you're not for me, I'm not for you, but it's super rare. So I'm sending you on your way. I have someone else I can send you to. They're called a veterinarian. But the truth is that like, I look at all of those things as toxic seeds. So everything that's been said to us. So when our animal gets sick, your vet is going to be like, they're going to die. They only have 1 week to live. They have 2 weeks to live. Your friends start telling you those stories and you start thinking it and feeling it. And everything you think or say, your animal hears because they are telepathic. So it would be like if I was taking a test and my mom said, I'm really worried. I don't think you're going to pass. You're very bad at this. You're going to fail this test. I think you're going to fail this test quickly. You know what? I'd probably fail. But if you were sitting in a hospital and your mom came in and was like, oh, we're afraid you're going to die. We're all afraid you're going to die. We think you're going to die. Everyone here is saying you're going to die. You would probably die. This is proven. This is called the placebo effect. This is called the nocebo effect.
Reality. If the people then we love don't believe in us, we know this. How
right.
Look, I have a quote. I was listening to someone saying, and in life, you need to become the person who took ownership of the result before having any idea how to get to the result.
Right. Exactly.
You need to say, no way.
No way. Right. And so
before you have any clue, that decision is inside of your heart and you are comfortable and relaxed because that is your truth. And that is what you bring in. I really think we create our own reality. What people don't like is, oh, it's not my responsibility. It's the government responsibility. It's the president's responsibilities. No. Whatever
it's our responsibility.
In life, it's your responsibility. And
totally.
If something very dramatic did happen to you, I give you an example. My mom died when I was 10. I lived 40. So I'm 41. So I lived 31 years without my mother almost. But I lived 10 years with her. And that 10 years made me the woman that I am today because she was a badass. And
that's awesome.
It's always about, you don't control, but you control, you don't control what happens, but you control what you think, what you decide, what you do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And so, a lot of these guided spells, it's rewriting the things that have been said to us. It's been rewriting. It's basically a placebo pill. Yeah. It's rewriting what the vet said. It's rewriting what your friends have said. It's rewriting what you've said. It's writing new information. This is possible. I don't know what it is, but it is possible. And that there's power in that. There's power in that for us. There's power in that for their animals. And I'm not saying that if you listen to a spell, your animal is going to be magically cured. Not at all. But there's meditations just to relax your body so that you can think clearly. Like I need to get out of the muddled mess. There's spells in there that's like, it is about cancer. We're going to try and go in there and heal this cancer by bringing in, new thoughts, new beliefs. It's channeled through an oak tree, like there's really witchy stuff in there. And then there's also stuff in there that it's like, this is common sense. Like, and going back to the placebo pill, so many people, so many humans have been thrown into remission off of a placebo pill because they believed that it was saving them. And so why would this not be true for our animals when we are there with them, telling them what they are and aren't capable of? Most recently, this last summer, my kitty that I live with now, she got really, really sick. And And which made me feel horrible because I
Yeah,
work
I
with
was gonna
animals.
do that. It must be, it's like a
Yeah.
relation coach get divorced.
Right.
Yeah.
So exactly. So, but what happened was I adopted her. And when I adopted her, she was sick. And I didn't know that her behaviors that she was displaying were behaviors that she was displaying because she was sick. I just thought that's who she was. And there were a couple things happening to her, but I could justify all of them. So for example, I became a full-time nomad, and she became an adventure cat, and she was wearing a harness. Well, around her harness area, her fur started to dissipate and disappear. And I was like, oh, it's from the harness. Well, it wasn't from the harness. It was from her disease, but there were certain things like that. And when I brought her to the vet, no vet could find it. I knew there was something wrong with her breathing. So I brought her to the vet, and they're like, no, there's nothing wrong with her. Well, there was. Nobody could catch it. And the reason why is because it was genetic, and genetically it didn't make sense for her age. So I didn't find out she was sick until she was so sick she couldn't hide it anymore, which is how animals roll. They don't want us to know that they're sick. They have evolved to hide that they're ill. And so I had my vet saying, she's super, super sick. She's probably going to die. We need to take her to a cardiologist. Her heart's going to be damaged the rest of her life. And also, if we do this treatment, she will never be cured by it. So I had three major things that I had to rewrite. The first was that she was super sick and she was going to die. The second is that if she did survive, she'd have heart problems for her whole life. And the third is if we did do a treatment on her, she would never be cured. And I had to go into deep magic and rewrite all of those things that were said to me so that I could come at it, her healing from a clean slate, and didn't have those things working against what I believed was possible for her. And it was not easy, but I did it. And you know what? Her heart was totally fine. She was totally cured, and she doesn't have any heart disease. And she was cured so rapidly, healed so rapidly, that within a month, her vet called me crying, saying, I never get to see this. This is something I never witness. It never goes this way. And it was because I had to go and this is everything I put in the EmPAWer app. Like, I had to go and rewrite all of those toxic things that were said to me. But in that process, I was like, I can't tell anybody. I can't tell any of my friends, because they're going to add to the toxic. They're going to add to the toxic seeds. They're going to throw more fears at me. They're going to give me all their horror stories. And I couldn't do it. So now my kitty's perfectly healthy now.
You are saying that, and I found that I do that, and so I'm a person who don't share problems. I share solutions.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because when you go to complain with your friends about your boyfriend or about your kid or about this, you are rolling and you are giving them power to reply. And that is so, everyone always says to me, oh, do you need to talk? I say, I need to talk, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to talk in special with people who are not ready to just like listen, because it's the only thing you need someone. You need to, if not, sometimes I talk alone at home because it's my only way to, but that is an important point in all whole kind of healing or changing your mindset, is be careful with who you talk about your complaints.
100%. That's essentially, I love what you say. I'm not going to share my problems. I'm going to share solutions, because, but the truth is, like, wouldn't you love to be able to tell your friends what's going on and then not have them throw a ton of shitty advice at you? Like, I would love, that was why I wanted this community, because I was like, you know what? I did it, and I did it alone, but it wasn't easy to do it alone. It would have been really awesome to have a strong community of people being like, yes, I can see all of that for you. Yes, whatever you want to do is going to be made possible. Yes, I'm going to do it with you. Yeah, I'm going to join forces and I'm going to help you. Like, that is powerful. But the truth is that most people will not give you the space to do that.
No, and I don't know. I like to write. When I have issues, I write letters to myself, and I know that I'm so in tune with my energy that I need to be careful with what I say. I remember I had a podcast. I had my schedule today was insane. And it's going to be a training from someone else. Then I did want to watch live. But then I had a podcast at that time. And I said, no, I'm not going to change my podcast because that is important for me. And I love to record this. And it's going to be amazing. But I really did want to watch that training. And another passion fighter, she said, oh, sorry, Rita, I just have the feeling I need to change for tomorrow. Is that okay? And I was, oh my God, be careful, be careful, be careful what you say.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful thing, and a community, for example, and I passion don't pay me anything for this. I will say then passion, the value is just the community by themselves, and I can talk because I'm on passion for more than 1 year. They hold me. I built a business through anxiety and panic attacks. It's the same thing than to be stressed and try to heal your animal.
Yeah.
Building a business when you have panic attacks, I don't know if you ever had, but it's the worst thing ever. And people cannot understand you, and you feel you are getting crazy because you are feeling this. And people are saying, but is everything okay? Why you need to take a Xanax? Half a Xanax out? It's all okay. We are on the beach. Yes, but I feel then is a dinosaur coming to eat me. And mental health is a big journey. And then that is, I'm going back for you to say, when you said something like the animals will be very sick when we realize they are, like I found out then us as well. I found out that my anxiety and my panic attacks was my body take me to a point where I didn't need to take a decision and doing something about it. Because I had no panic attacks and no anxiety. I was never in Mexico. I was never trying to heal myself. I was never trying to build a business. I was still in my shitty relation that I had was traumatizing me. And so in the same way, we should look to our diseases and to understand that our body is communicating with us. And the animals are giving us clues. And many times they are connected, like our anxiety. You know, if a dog is well behaved, you know that the owner is chill. If
totally.
Oh my God, in dogs, it's such a copy.
I know. I have people contact me and they're like, my dog is being a jerk. And I'm like, you're the jerk, like, or they're being over the top. I'm like, you're over the top. Like it puts me in an awkward position to be like, well, how are you behaving at home?
Or someone who arrived to you and starts saying, oh, I have this issue and I'm with the cat, I can never come the cat and I don't know what to do. And it is always, yep.
Totally. Yeah. They mirror us. Well, exactly. That's why, a lot of times when animals are really sick, my clients will be like, well, what can I do at home? And it's like, well, you need to turn your house into a spa-like experience. You need to make it really super comfortable to be there so that if you were sick, you would want to be there. And a lot of times what that does is, people are like, how does that help heal my animal? Well, it triggers the physiological relaxation response. So when we're relaxed, our brain releases a chemical that starts to move, it relaxes our muscles. Our blood becomes oxygenated. Our stomach can start absorbing nutrients more efficiently. It starts creating digestive enzymes. Your hormones regulate, and then new cell growth happens. Like relaxation is the golden key to health, not just in us, but in our animals. And so when our animals are really sick, the more relaxed we can make ourselves, the more relaxed they're going to be, and it can help heal them. In that same study they did where they proved that animals feel our feelings with us and then their body creates cortisol based on it. They were also able to prove that when we get let's say a cancer diagnosis with our animal, say your dog is diagnosed with cancer, you're going to freak out because that's what we do. But our stress then can make their cancer grow. And that's not fair, but it's the truth. And so what we need to do is calm down. What we need to do is not have those anxiety attacks. What we need to do is be able to really get into our bodies and be present and start breathing, which is why these meditations are for the humans and for the animals, is because you both need it. When you're trying to heal cancer or a disease in an animal. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel then I have a weird question to ask you, because
Yeah.
I see people doing this so often, and I would like your honest opinion. I probably you don't have one opinion, you have different ones depending of the situation. Many people have a tendency when our animal is gone, the first thing they do is go and pick up a puppy or a kitty or adopt another dog, another cat.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Or
I think it really depends on the person,
it
you
depends
know.
on the person and the situation, right? But
Yeah. Yeah.
your view
Yeah.
on that.
I know. Yeah. I know a lot of people who will find an animal right before their animal dies so that they don't even have to go through that. And then there are people who will go and adopt immediately after their animal dies. And then there are people who are like, I can't do this for a while. My heart was so broken. I absolutely cannot bring an animal into my life. And I would say that all of those things are valid.
It depends.
But I also believe that there are a lot of animals out there to be rescued. And so if you need to take a break, do, but don't let it be for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know, like after my Holly died, I was not ready for a cat. I absolutely did not want, I just didn't, I couldn't, I needed a break. But then Sugar Pants, my cat now, she found me. She found me within a few months and I was not ready, but I was like, oh no, she's arrived. Like I'm still grieving. I'm still grieving, but she's here.
Humans as well. You know he arrived, you know you don't want, but he's there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. But I know, yeah, I know people who it's been years and they still haven't, you know, brought somebody in their life. And I get it. Like I understand that that's losing your best friend is it's horrible, but also there's so many animals that need a home, you know?
I I don't want to tell the story because it's very painful, but like I said to you, I lived in Africa and we had horses, and we traveled one time. We took our horses by boat from one island to the other, what is like 12 hours of, and we catch terrible weather, and I lost two of my horses on my hands. And I could never go back to horse riding after that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about that now. Then you feel as how that affect me and traumatize me for the
Yeah.
rest of my life. My baby cat is crying. I want to ask you few questions before we end.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
about being a coach. So what is your goals for this year? How you see your business in the business perspective as a coach? And that is the first question, then I go to another two.
Okay. Well, really, I would love for my app to grow. And the reason is that truthfully, I feel tired. Like I work with a lot of clients and my clients are sick. I'm not working with kittens and puppies. I'm working with sick animals. And it's very common that I'm on the phone with people who are crying and they're sad. And so my days can be really heavy and
I was going
hard.
to say that. Do you need
Yeah.
constantly being cleansing and
Yep.
burning some
Yeah.
things to go? Yeah.
Yeah. And I just have this like I want to save everybody all the time. So if I'm not very mindful, I will put myself into a position where I'm working far more than I really should be. So I want my app to grow. I want, you know, I want people to see that as more of like the place to go. And, you know, I want the Crowned Creatrix to like not just for money. I want to create
Movements.
a fucking community of badass women that know how to help themselves, help the other women around them, help their animals. And I want to have retreats where we're like going into the desert and like doing shadow work and like dancing naked and in hot springs and like, la, 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 you know, like that's where I want to go. And I want it to be like the Crowned Creatrix crew who's like, yeah, I am in this. Like we are, the sorceress is back and we're taking back our space on this planet.
Oh my God. I mean, tell me where I sign up. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
opposite, I'll give you all my tools for you to be the #1 viral any
Thanks.
healer of this
Thank
planet,
you.
more extra planets who are looking to us right now. Okay.
Yeah, I want everybody to be empowered. And
No,
so
I'm in
that's,
love. I'm
yeah,
madly in love for everything for you as a person, for your
thank you.
vibration and for your energy and for even the background that you have. I know what to
Thank you.
represent.
Yeah, because I would really love to go to then like an elephant or a rhinoceros sanctuary where their parents have been poached and be like, I'm gonna work here with these little, you know, babies and help them. And it's not about money because and the EmPAWer app is making its money. I can go to a sanctuary and I can train the people at sanctuaries. I can, you know, like I would, that's really where I see myself. Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. And you know, I have a project on my I want to teach women in Mexico how to create courses, how to become resourceful, how to be social media managers for free for each high tickets that I have. I'll give one for free because I want them to be able to live abusive relations and to make their own money and
Yeah.
their power. So we are totally in tune on that.
Yeah.
It's insane where people can find you, like where they are crazy now. They want to find you. They need you. They need you. They need you.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm on all the social media, TikTok included. You can go to my website, rachelaugusta.com, and it has links for everything there. Instagram, it's EmPAWred. TikTok, it's EmPAWred. It's like empowered, but paw instead. And then yeah, Facebook is yeah, Rachael helps animals, like, but just going to my website, all the links are there. So
great.
Yeah.
Oh my God. If you could give a message to yourself 11 years ago, what was
11 years ago or 11 years from now?
11 years before, like on the past, when you did not have energy.
My message to myself 11 years ago would have been to not hide that I'm a sorceress. I spent the first 7 years of doing this is like, I'm an animal practitioner. I tried to be as scientific as possible. I didn't want anybody to argue with me. I didn't want my message to get lost. I was afraid that if people didn't take me seriously, if they thought I was too like witchy sorceress, they'd be like, she's full of shit. And you know what? It didn't help me because people still argued with me. Men still argued with me. Men still told me they didn't believe in what I did.
So funny because in Mexico, the culture
they believe it.
It's inside for them. 11/11. Each time you see 11/11, wow, they feel like it's so different cultural wise.
It is. Yeah, I have clients from Mexico, and they're my favorite, and I will tell you why. Because when I speak to a white person from the United States, they're like, how does this work? How are you doing that? Wait, what is it? How do you, but I don't understand when somebody calls me from Mexico and I'm like, okay, let me explain to you. And they're like, no, you don't need to. I believe in you. You're a bruja. I get it. You're a witch. You're a witch for my animals. I don't need you to explain this to me. And I'm like, okay. And they get it. They know. And so I hid that forever. And I stayed in this, like, I want the patriarchy to accept me. And now I'm like, fuck the patriarchy. It's not going to accept you anyway. So,
I feel I'm having the same issue than you. I always felt I had special, I don't want to call special powers, but I had the special sensitivity. I see things on the future. I know how it's going to work. I feel it. I'm weird. I'm really weird, and I love it.
In a good way. I'm like, tell me what you see for my future. Tell me what
we are going to work together.
Me too. Yeah, I feel that too.
100%. We are going to help each other to come together. You probably will help me to take the same limitations that I have and just like dress my bruja dress. Totally. I'm fed up of this. I'm different. Like I can do things that you guys cannot, but I can help you to do it what you think you cannot. That is my job and work that I want to do. I want a lot to work with women as you. Like I want to work with successful people who have a gift who believe in themselves, who know their life mission. They just need to amplify, to expand. And I'm the one who bring the tools for expansion. And then you go and you help 300, 400,000 animals. And I feel a little bit happy because you have a little spicy from me there. So
you're like, I sprinkled cinnamon on that. I sprinkled cinnamon on that.
I love it. And I feel like this gives me goosebumps. When I met you, when you said yes, I felt like here we go again.
I know. Actually, when you reached out to me, I was like, oh my gosh, it's nice to meet you again in this life. Like, you know, we've known each other. And so, oh, where have you been, Rita? Oh, you're in Mexico stirring shit up. Awesome. That's good to know. You're probably the reason why I keep feeling this pull to go back down there. So
I feel that I did need to tell you, this is so weird. I need to tell you, you need to go to Mexico. You have a mission there to do. Probably
I know.
Work, probably but I feel it. Oh, this conversation went totally to the other side.
No, I agree with you. I felt it too.
You say then women should connect with you, even if they don't have animals, just to tap on our power, our magic.
Yeah. You know, and there's classes in there to be like, there's a grief class that's like to help somebody who's grieving. Cause a lot of times we just don't know how to do that. You know, we don't know what to say to somebody who's grieving. So we say all the wrong stuff because we're just trying to help them, but you can't help them. So there's stuff in there for people who don't have animals, if they want to be supportive to people who do. But it's mostly, you know, and the Crowned Creatrix would be really good for somebody who maybe isn't living with animals. I do have people in there who aren't currently living with an animal. And then what they do is, because a lot of times we're set intentions for, you know, wild animals, set intentions for the lions out there that need to be saved, set intentions out there for the wild horses that are being killed, set intentions for the animals in Ukraine right now, the wild animals that, or, you know, the cats and the dogs over there that need help, you know. And so we think of ourselves, but you can always extend it out. And like, you know, I'm going to be working this month, let's say, with the rhinoceroses and the elephants and, you know, the whales. So, yeah.
Hi, future. All right. Was so good. Let's say bye to people that listen to us and to see us. Influential Coach is a place where coaches talk about different types of coaching, but this is much bigger than this. This is about me connecting with beautiful people as you, and as expanding your perspective, then you are listened to. It's much more in the world than the first wall, than you see it. Just, you don't need to understand electricity to use it, because please explain to me how I can airdrop one photo from my computer to the phone, see if I don't catch it on the air. So if I don't understand that, but I keep using, please just set an intention. I set an intention before I start this call, and my intention was exactly what did happen. Thank you so much. Let's say bye to these people and let's chat a little bit if you have time.
Yes, I'd love that.
Guys, Rachael, do you want to say bye? And
bye, everybody. I hope to connect with you at EmPAWer.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. This was the Influential Coach. Please don't forget to subscribe, to comment, to like, to share, and to tell me what is the next guest that I should bring in. My name is Rita Gidio, and it was such a pleasure to have you here. Bye-bye.